welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a really chilled, chatty update video because term is about to start. It starts tomorrow technically, and I just thought it would be good to like check in. I want to say, not sorry that this video is going up on a Sunday, but you might have noticed that it's not on the Saturday, and I've basically just been moving rooms the last few days, and it took a lot longer than I thought because my parents were going to come and help, and then for reasons I will kind of explain in this video, they couldn't. And so basically it's just been a lot. It's been like a 2-day process because the temporary room that college put me in, as I told you, I was living in a temporary room for a month, was on the 3rd floor, the other side of college, and this room is on the 3rd floor, but the lift is broken and college won't fix it because it's too expensive. So it was a process. It was a process. Let me say I filled my Apple rings and then some without even having to do a workout. But I was too tired yesterday evening to film it. I honestly just completely collapsed in bed and fell asleep. So yeah, I hope you don't mind this video being on a Sunday. But also I probably will talk about that a little bit in this video, that my YouTube schedule will not be as regular as it was on my year abroad. So I just wanted to do a little check-in, a little update, because I think a lot has changed. Like, not a lot has changed, that's a bit dramatic. Like, I just it's been a weird time since I last checked in with you, because obviously I was abroad, and then I had this like weird transitional period over the summer, and then a weird transitional period in Oxford. It's been a very weird, temporary, like not settled time, and those times do happen, and like it's totally normal. But I thought I would kind of explain a little bit, because I don't think I have been off on my socials. I don't think I have, but I felt off. I felt very naive and just very meh, really. And there are circumstances behind that. So a lot of you were asking why I moved up to Oxford early. I had quite a few DMs about it and stuff, just saying like, oh, I thought it was really hard to get accommodation in the holidays in Oxford and things like that. And you would be correct. I have got a full year contract this year, so from October to June I'm allowed to stay in college. Whether or not they move me out of my room that I've literally just spent 2 days unpacking, that's a whole other story. I'm hoping that they won't, and as a floor, I think we're very much all hoping to stay over the holidays. We all have those contracts, so we're hoping that they'll be like, well, there's no point in moving them. Anyway, that is a whole other kettle of fish, and I'm sure that if they do make me move, you will probably hear me complaining about it yet again, because you know what, no, this video is not the time to bring this back up again. But basically, I was allowed to move back to college because there's a lot going on at home. I don't want you to think like, oh, my parents aren't getting divorced or anything. Well, my mum and stepdad aren't getting divorced or anything like that. But like, basically, I'm not going to air my family's problems on the internet. That's not my place, and also, quite frankly, I don't want to. But my sister took my room, as you know, and I went into her room, which is quite, you know, it's significantly smaller. That wouldn't have been a problem for me at all. Like, we did it up and everything. But basically my parents are in the process of moving house, so there's viewings, there's boxes everywhere, and there's also something else that's going on, which means that basically that bed is sometimes like, it's just, that room was like, I couldn't just fully settle in it for reasons which I don't really want to explain. I feel like I'm being really cryptic, but like I wanted to explain what was going on without fully explaining, so I'm sorry if this is like really annoying. But basically a lot was going on at home. There's a lot of strain, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure, and it's just a lot for my parents especially. Like, I can't even imagine how they're feeling. And I spoke to college, and they were like, look, we completely understand that you might just want your own space to sort of get back into the swing of things, especially after a year out. Like, I was trying to work at home and I just couldn't because there was constant disruption. And like, I'm not saying like, oh my god, I've got it so bad. Like, it wasn't impossible, but it was becoming quite difficult, and I was getting quite frustrated. I think everyone was just getting a bit frustrated, so college were more than happy to take me back, which I was really thankful for. It has been a stressful time for all of us, I think. Oh god, I don't want to cry. It's been a stressful time, and it is like, things are getting better. Like, things are definitely on the up now, and like the process, the cogs are whirring, and things will get sorted. But I think I kind of came back from Spain like right into the heart of that and it really did just kind of like hit crisis point in September. So I really struggled with the transition of like coming back from Spain and then like suddenly being at home, but then home like not really being very homely because of all the stress that was going on. And then they were like, we're moving house, and I was like, right, okay. So it was just very like, and I think that that I thought that coming to Oxford would kind of fix that. And then obviously because they put me in a temporary room, that was very odd, because like I spent ages moving my stuff into there, and then my parents couldn't come to help me move. It's just been like, obviously I do not want to say like, oh my god, woe is me, like my life is falling apart. It's not that. It's just been a very destabilizing time for me, and I'm aware that I'm very fortunate that, you know, I do have a relatively sound family life, but growing up I did live out of a suitcase for like a decade, because my parents split up when I was like 10, and I spent the whole of secondary school living half in one place, half in the other. And you know, that does take a toll on you, I think. You know, it's like, it's not that deep, but it was, you know, it is quite destabilizing. And I think that kind of vibe coming back for me was just a bit like, whoa, I can't be doing with this. So it's been a stressful time, and I'm not really one to talk about my family on the internet like that much, especially anymore, but basically everyone is okay and it will be fine. It's just not been a good time. And also I just, you know, when you just hate seeing other people upset, especially people that you love, so I take everyone's sadness on me like a lot, and so, oh god, so I just get really upset about people being upset, which makes me upset. So it's been a time, but I think it's getting better now. So and I'm glad that I'm now finally in my actual term time room. I'm really hoping I can stay, and there will be a room tour. I'm just trying to make it my own, really, which is taking a while. So once I'm done with it though, like I really will do a room tour. I just want to make sure that it's like exactly how I want it, and as nice and as cozy as I can get it. But I am really happy with how it's turning out. But the room tour might come like in November time, because I want to buy a few more bits and bobs for it. I'm also on the most lovely floor. Only half of them have moved in so far, but I forgot how well I get along with all of them. I was really lucky in that respect. Like everyone on my floor pretty much are people that I knew before. Obviously coming back after having had a year out, I probably would have normally have had to live with the year below, essentially, because they're now finalists as well. Like they're technically in my year now. But it just worked out that everyone on my floor, like, I knew beforehand, and like I get on with them really well, and I'm good friends with them. So that I've been super blessed with the kitchen, a communal living space. Like we actually have space to sit together, which in Oxford there's a very big lack of. Like there's not like communal living spaces in first and second year. So really happy about that. We also have a balcony which overlooks college, and the view from my window is amazing. It's like the view of the chapel. You'll see this all in my room tour. So I'm very happy with my new room. I think it's just taken a lot longer to move everything than I kind of expected, and it's just been a bit of a crazy experience. And I think emotionally I've just been a bit all over the place this month. But that being said, term starts tomorrow. I've not done the work. I just haven't done it because of this. Like I feel like you might have noticed that there have been quite a lot of sponsored posts and sponsored videos like coming up and sort of on my Instagram. YouTube always happens like that, where you have nothing for months. Like I don't think I posted a sponsored video for like 2-3 months, or a sponsored Instagram, and then you literally get about a bajillion things at once. And they were all brands that I really wanted to work with, like Quizlet and the BBC and stuff like that, like brands that I use and love. And so I wasn't going to turn it down, but I think the combination of a sudden influx of like YouTube work and the family stuff at home, I honestly felt like I would just sit down to do work in September, and then I'd get a text or an email, and it wasn't something that I could be like, oh, I'm going to deal with that later. And then before I knew it, it was like 8 PM and I really hadn't done anything, and I've just been running really low on energy emotionally. So it hasn't been as productive as I kind of hoped it would be, but I'm not too upset about that, because as I said, there's been lots of external circumstances surrounding that, so I'm not going to beat myself about it at all. I have got time to try and claw it back a little bit. I've got a week now before teaching starts, and thankfully I only have one. In Oxford we have what are called collections, which are like mock exams that you have at the start of each term, and thankfully, because I literally have the best tutors in the world, we only have one, because my tutors were like, with the COVID and everything, it would be unfair for us to expect you to revise like all of, because our finals are second year and fourth year content put together, so it would be really unfair, she was saying, like to make you revise all of second year in like 2 weeks. So I was like, yeah, it would be. So we have a language collection, which I'm actually really grateful for, because I want to see where my language is at and where I can improve. And also the faculty haven't told us what format our exams are going to be in, which I'm not very happy about. We could go into my beef with the languages faculty, but I think I literally don't have the emotional energy to think about that right now. I have no idea if my exams will be online. I have no idea if they'll be in person. My ideal combination would be my language exams in person, because you can't really do language exams online because everyone's just got access to like Google Translate and stuff. My literature exams online so that I can make really detailed notes and actually just enjoy the process rather than just memorizing stuff for a 3-hour exam. And ideally the oral exam will be made like, you know, that it doesn't count, because the discrepancy in our year group, some people have spent 12 months in Spain, some people have spent none, some people have spent 8 months in France, some people have spent 8 days in France. So I think it's definitely interested to see what they're going to do with that. And I think that that's also been adding to my uncertainty, because I'm like, I'm going into my final year and I've got the biggest exams I'll ever sit at the end of this year, but I actually don't know what they're going to be, and all of the other faculties have started announcing it, and languages are just like, oh well, you don't really need to know because it won't really affect like how you revise. And I'm like, it will though. Like an open book exam is completely different, like it's a completely different approach. And I want to work hard, of course I do, but I just want to know what I'm working hard towards, because I don't want to waste my time. So yeah, it's been a crazy time, but I think that once term starts and I get back into, I think it'll be a bit of a shock when it first does start, but I think once we get back into the routine of things, I'm really looking forward to this year. And I've got a good floor, I've got good people around me, and I just want to enjoy myself. Like, we have our first BOP, which is like the college parties. We have 3 college parties a term normally, and obviously they got cancelled because of COVID and there wasn't any at all last year. So this is the first BOP in like a year and a half, and I am so excited. Like, I honestly could cry with excitement. I know I will be the irrelevant 4th year in the corner and I won't recognise a single person in there, but I'm excited. That's another thing that's been really destabilising. Sorry, I feel like I keep saying destabilising, but it's just been a very destabilising time. Coming back to college, not recognising anybody, because my year have graduated essentially. There are still a few people around, but you know, they're not in college really. They're in like houses, or they're doing like postgrads. And then the 3rd years, the year below me, I obviously kind of recognise, but the 2nd years, I wasn't here last year, and then there'll be a whole new group. And I honestly was looking out the window today and I was like, who are these people? Like, it's weird, because the last time I was in college was 2nd year, and 2nd year is kind of your peak of like socialness. Like, you know everyone. I feel like I knew all of the year below, I knew all of the year above, and you would go into town or you go to a club and like you would always run into somebody that you knew. I feel like that was like 2nd year is your peak of like socialness, and that kind of just ended abruptly, and now I'm back a year and a half later and like there's like everything's different. So that's been crazy. I'm happy to embrace the change, you know, and I don't think I'll be going clubbing absolutely loads this year. I'm kind of over that now, if I'm brutally honest. But it's been weird. It's been really weird, and I was talking to the girls on my floor about that. It's just a really bizarre feeling, because I remember so vividly the balconies that we have, they like overlook the main bit of college, and I remember so vividly being a 1st year and looking up at the 3rd and 4th years on the balcony thinking, wow, like they're so old, like, you know, God. And now that's me. And it's just, I don't know how my freshers was 3 years ago. I physically can't comprehend that I'm being 22 and the freshers are going to be 18. It's just like, it's a lot. Like, I feel like the pandemic happened, and obviously I was really lucky that I could go on my year abroad and everything during that pandemic, but like being back in Oxford 18 months later is just very like, whoa. So I feel like this update video has struck a really negative tone. I feel like I've filmed it like 3 times, so I don't want to come across as like, oh, woe is me. But I just wanted to check in, like, and be honest with you that it's not really been, you know, it's not even that it's been bad. Like, it's just been a difficult couple of months, if I'm honest. And everyone has them. Like, it's just life. You have good months, you have bad months. And I'm hoping now, like, weirdly, I feel like this has really helped. It's really helped, like, me getting off my chest, and I'm hoping that I can now just like be like, right, we're gonna give term a go, we're gonna give it all we've got, and we're just gonna enjoy it. So I am feeling optimistic, and I think that everything is now starting to like come out of the dip. So I'm ready to go, but also ready to make sure that I'm looking after my mental health, looking after my physical health, and just trying to just be the kindest to me that I possibly can be, which is why I'm not beating myself up too much if I'm going into term perhaps not as prepared as I would have liked, because life happens, stuff gets in the way, and I've got time. That's what I'm telling myself, I've got time. Another update, got my flu jab the other day. The only symptom I got was muscle aches, which actually, to be fair, given that I had to move all my stuff that same day, was not ideal, but we made it through. If you are prone to flu, or even if you're not prone to flu, consider getting your flu jab. I feel like it's going to be quite a bad flu season this year, especially if you're going to uni. freshers flu will get you, so you may as well get the jab because then hopefully it won't get you as badly. I got freshers flu so bad in my first year, then got a chest infection for 6 months after because I didn't look after myself and I refused to go to the doctors. And then I got COVID, and now my chest is not good. Like, I actually have quite a weak chest. I've been to the GP various times about it and there's not really much they can do, but I got my flu jab for that reason because I was like, oh gosh, you know, I really don't want to make it any worse. It's not like awful, but like my lung capacity is not, I'm very prone to coughs and things like that, so, which in a COVID time is not ideal. So anyway, sorry, sidetracked. If you haven't got your flu jab yet, then definitely do. I'm double vaxxed now as well, which is fabulous. Do you know what? To be fair, I actually didn't get any side effects from either of my vaccines, really. Like, it really surprised me. I'm not sure if it's because I've had COVID before or what. I don't know, like, I was pretty chuffed with that, to be honest. Although I hope that that means that there's still an immune response going on. But I'm very glad that I'm going into uni, like, double vax, because that makes me feel a lot better. That's basically where I'm at the moment. I've been in a weird place, but I feel like we're on the right trajectory now, which is what matters. So I'm now going to answer some of you guys' questions, because you actually sent in quite a few, and I love answering your questions. The first question was, what are your plans post-graduation? I don't want to go into it too much because I obviously don't like want to put anything out there because of, you know, COVID and stuff and just general things that can change, but I definitely want to take 6 months out, so I don't really plan on making any big moves until January of 2023. I just want to take 6 months out. I have some ideas of what I want to do in that time, but I probably am going to keep that under wraps. Not because I'm like, I wanted like a big reveal or something, just because I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I have some exciting things like in mind. And then I think I'll probably apply to News Associates, which is a journalism school in Manchester, to do my NCTJ, which is kind of like the journalism qualification to get into the journalism industry, because I really just want to do a practical course where you're learning like media law, shorthand, like reporting on the go and stuff like that. So I think that'll probably be what I'll do. I love Manchester so much, and a lot of my friends are actually moving up there too, so I think it's going to be the place to be after graduation. I think I'm kind of over London. I think a lot of people are over London, to be really honest. Sorry if you live in London, but it's just not for me. So basically that's my short-term plan, is 6 months out and then go and do my NCTJ, and then after that we shall see where that takes me. The next one is, what modules are you doing this year, or what are you focusing on? So I actually don't have much teaching left. I did a lot of it in my second year. So this term I have the second half of my linguistics paper for German, and it's the better half. So I'm actually doing like National Socialism and language, gender and language, linguistic purism, like the more like social side of things, whereas like the first half was more the actual linguistic side of things, which I did enjoy, but it's not really like my favorite thing. So I'm very excited about that. My first essay is due in like a week, and I feel like I actually really will enjoy researching that. And then for Spanish, I'm doing Valle Inclán, who's like a Spanish author. Sorry, my nose is so blocked again. This is why you guys need to get your flu shots, because honestly I have been perpetually ill since I got back from Spain. Like, I have just been sick, and I feel like it's that new lowered state of being that everyone talks about when you get to university. You just have to accept like a lower level of health because there are just germs everywhere. Yeah, I'm doing Valle Inclán. Yeah, I'm reading his works at the moment. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm sure that once I start studying them, they'll be fine. So I am excited about that. And then in Hillary term, which is the second term, the only thing we have left to do is our special paper, which is kind of our equivalent to a dissertation. It's like an essay portfolio that adds up to basically a dissertation. And I'm doing literature in the GDR, which is like former East Germany, so I'm very excited about that. I have no idea what I'm going to specialise and do my essays on, but that's a whole other kind of fish. I'm not even thinking about that till Christmas, so that's that. And then in Trinity it's just revising like in the final term, so that's basically all I've got left to do, which is crazy. And then I obviously have my like translations, grammar exercises, oral classes, etc as well. So it's gonna be a busy year, but I am very excited. The next one is, how is your running going? I am actually devastated about this, guys, because I was really enjoying it, but you know how I was talking about those tension headaches I just couldn't shake? I spoke to the GP about it, and it honestly, the dates that I started getting those headaches, it dates right back to when I first started doing runs, even literally on the treadmill. And I just don't think running likes me. I thought it was my form, but I feel like my form is fine. I've tried everything, and whenever I run, I just get really bad tension headaches the day after. And the doctor said it's got something to do with my neck muscles. Like, I don't even know, but basically he said like there are other forms of exercise that you can be doing. I probably will still try and run a little bit, but it's really not worth the tension headaches. That was another big thing in September that I was really struggling with the tension headaches. I'd have days where I just couldn't get out of bed because I just felt like someone was like pulling an elastic band over my forehead. So I think I'm gonna go back to weightlifting and just like incline walking and stuff on the treadmill, because I'm really sad about it because I really was enjoying the running, and I might go back to it at some point, but I don't want to risk the tension headaches this year, because if it is that that's causing it, like I do not have time during term to be having headaches like 3-4 times a week, you know. The next one is, what about the love life? Is it taking a back seat this year? No judgment, mine is as well. It's not even in the back seat. It's not even in the boo. It's been kicked out. It's been kicked out. I am not even, no, absolutely not. Like, look, I'm not out here saying I'm an expert in love. I've literally never been in a relationship, but this year is not the time. And I think that for a while I was like, oh, I don't want to be that person that like graduates from uni having never been in a relationship, but like it's literally not that deep. Like everyone just goes at their own pace, and I really just want to enjoy this year and work hard, and I barely have time to like exist. Some days I do not have time for a significant other. One day I'm sure there'll be someone that I meet that will make me very happy and I'll want to dedicate all my time to them, but I'm also leaving Oxford in less than a year, and for me I just think a bit too far ahead with those things. Or no, it's not even thinking too far ahead. I just know that our paths will probably go separate ways. So I'm just a bit like, unless the literal love of my life sweeps me off my feet, then I'm not looking for anything. I don't have any dating apps. I've deleted them all. And I'm quite happy with that decision. Yeah, that's basically where my love life is at. It's, yeah, left behind somewhere. And the next one is your non-academic and academic goal for the end of this year. Academically, I just really want to enjoy my academics this year. I feel like I want to focus on the actual process, which is why I'm really hoping that my literature exams are open book, so I can like really delve deep and like get really good notes, because of the volume of information when they're closed book exams at Oxford, like you kind of have to learn everything as well as you can, but there's so much that you spread yourself quite thinly. Whereas I feel like if they're closed book, I can really work like over the holidays and stuff on like really delving into like the complexities and making really detailed notes and actually just enjoying the process of reading the books again. So really just want to enjoy my academics this year, especially my special paper. I'm really looking forward to that because you can pick your own topic and I think that'll be really fun. I'd like a first, if I'm being honest. I would like a first, but if it means that I'm gonna end up how I was in first year, then absolutely not worth it. There was no part of me that was proud of my first year results, as good as they were. Like I don't think I've been ever less proud of a set of results because it came from such a unhealthy place mentally and physically. And my non-academic goal for this year, just to have a bit of fun. In Spain, I feel like I had so much, like I just really enjoyed my time in Spain. I really relaxed like fully and there was no guilt there. And I really just want to do that this year. I just want to, if somebody invites me something that I want to go to, then I just want to go. I don't want to not do things, because I felt like I spent the whole of my first and second year, when I was out, I was like I should be working, and when I was working I was like I should be having fun. And I think I just want to like lean into just being in the moment and enjoying what I'm doing. So like tonight we're gonna make fajitas and watch Strictly, and I'm not gonna be sat there thinking I could be working. I'm just gonna enjoy the fact that we're eating fajitas and watching Strictly, and I'm equally not gonna feel guilty thinking, oh, should I have gone clubbing, like should I be out partying, is it like, am I living like is this a bit boring? I'm just gonna enjoy it and do what I want and just enjoy it. That's basically my aim, is to just enjoy my academics and just basically just have a good time and be in the moment. Try to be in the moment, I'm very bad at that, and just lean into everything and embrace the chaos, because Oxford is chaotic and I'm not a chaotic person, but you just have to accept it, you have to embrace it here, to be honest. My short-term aim is to get my hair cut though, because oh my god, like it's at that point where these bits are literally like, I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream, do you know what I mean? So yeah, getting my hair cut on Tuesday, which I'm very excited about. That's my #1 priority at the moment. And the final question, I've kind of touched on this, is how do you feel about most of your friends not being here this year? As I said, it definitely really threw me when I first got back to uni. But now I'm actually, I realised that a lot more of them are here than I thought. Like a lot of them are medics or they do 4-year degrees, but they're not living in college, but they're in houses, which will mean lots of nice house parties this year. Can I say, like, I've never really been to a house party. Like it just wasn't a thing at my secondary school, or at least I wasn't invited to them. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to one next week and I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. Like I feel like a teenager again. But I think it'll be really chill, like lots more like going around their houses for like drinks or like stuff. It'll be super, super lovely. And you know, I decided not to live in a house this year for reasons I've already explained really, but we kind of have a flat, like we do have a flat, we have a kitchen, we have like a communal space, so that's also really nice. And there are a lot of people in college still, and I am friends with a lot of the year below, and I'm gonna make friends because that's what you do at uni. And like, I think there's a conception that when you're in your fourth year, a perception, sorry, that when you're in your fourth year, like you're too out of it now to even like try and make friends. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm honestly, we're going to Freshers Fair, like we are literally gonna go to Freshers Fair. I'm not gonna try and make friends with the freshers because that'd be a bit weird, but like I want to like join a club or something. I don't know. I'm not worried about it as worried about it as I thought I would be, and I'm just gonna enjoy this year with the people that are here. And like a lot of my friends that have graduated come up to Oxford all the time anyway to visit, and they'll probably come up for like balls and like events and dinners as guests. So yeah, I'm not too mad about it really. Anyway, that concludes this update video. I do want to say I really am, I don't want to apologise, but like I am going to a little bit, because I don't know if it was a little bit of a negative update video, but equally I didn't want to be like, yeah, like I've done all my work, like I'm really doing well, like everything's fine, because it hasn't been, if I'm honest. But I equally felt like I didn't feel like I owed you an explanation, but I felt like I have been a bit off, and obviously I came back to uni early, so I kind of wanted to explain a little bit like where I was at. But that being said, I feel like this update video closes that chapter for me, and I'm just going to enjoy myself now. I do actually need to go to the library and do some work, because I have not done any work for 2 days because it took me that long to move all my stuff. But I really hope you did enjoy this video and that it wasn't too crazy. I feel like I was a little bit scatty-brained, but that's a summary of how my brain is at the moment. I'm really excited for the vlogs this term. I am not sure what my upload schedule is going to be. It might be every week, might be every other week. This term I'm going to be trying to figure out like what the best balance is for my sort of like well-being, like physically and mentally, how much is sustainable alongside a final year of Oxford degree. So I'm going to see how that goes, but I'm sure I'll be back very soon with a new video, and I hope you're all well and love you lots. Bye.